everyone, welcome to the 10K and 38 live weekly webinar. I'm your host, Vanessa Simpkins, and today we are talking about how to be a PR rock star, how to get the media attention, television, radio, publications that your business deserves, how to get more visibility. And joining me is the amazing Janelle Capra from Capra PR. She is a phenomenal woman, one of my dear friends and colleagues. And she's joining us here today all to talk to you really about how to get more PR for your business. And I'm really, really excited. Welcome, Janelle.
Hi, thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to be here. We're going to have some fun today.
Me too. I'm super excited that you're joining us. Janelle actually helped me launch my Soul Sister Mastermind out there. We met at an event, and she heard my idea, and she's like, "Do you want to get on TV?" She had a microphone, boom, camera crew, when this thing was birthed. So
it was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited that she's here. I want to introduce you properly, Janelle, so I'm going to go ahead and read your bio. And know that while you're listening here, guys, I want to let you know to really show up and be here, participate, ask us questions in the chat box, and turn everything else off. Unless you're driving, then you want to drive. But otherwise, really be here, show up, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live. So Janelle is the founder and CEO of Capra PR. She's been in public relations for over 20 years. She lives here in Southern California. She's worked with nonprofit, community-minded leaders and organizations. She started her career actually working in TV, and she found her gift to share the good news to help her clients get the media attention they want and deserve. She's a spokesperson for several charities. She blogs for Huffington Post, and she's spoken on other platforms and really believes in the pure power of PR to connect, communicate, and create culture of positive impressions. So welcome, Janelle.
Thank you, Vanessa. I'm so excited. And I just want to say a warm welcome. Please comment as we go along, because I want this to be very much a show and tell and share. And I have to say hi to Stephanie, to Tammy, to Shantae. Oh, she's a personal stylist and one of your clients too, Vanessa. Yeah. Mutual friend. Gigi. Is that Gigi the rock star joining us?
Gigi Rockstar. Yeah.
We're going to talk about your story with Carrie a little bit later. And hi to Candace from Montreal. Oh, I love it. Yay. So yes, let me tell you a little bit about me. Again, Janelle Capra, and I am a wife, a mom of 3 crazy cool kids that are from the age 4, 11, and 15. So yes, I sometimes have toddler and teenage trauma, yes, tantrums, but we have fun with just our lives together. And I chose to go into public relations after 20 years working in media and with nonprofits because I wanted to take my power back, Vanessa. I wanted to control my schedule, and I wanted to be able to take my kids to school and pick them up when I could and participate in more things. So that's how Capra PR was birthed. Today, I'm going to walk you a little bit through that story, and we're going to learn specifically how you can get the media attention you want and deserve for your business, your brand, or your cause. It just takes 3 easy steps. You're going to learn those, and you'll be able to rock and roll. So should we get started?
Absolutely. The floor is yours.
Right, let's do this. I'm going to pull up my document here, and here we go. So are we seeing this okay, Vanessa?
Yeah, you're a rock star.
Okay. So again, Be a PR Rockstar is a website that I've launched as well. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, but let me take you through a PR journey of mine. So I believe PR is a lot about positive results. And as you see here, this is a screenshot of really me setting an intention that I would log with Huffington Post. Ariana was a keynote at an event, and she spoke to a room about 1,500 people. And she had said, if you believe in this, she was talking about her 3rd metric, which was to think beyond money and power as a way of measuring success, that there should be a 3rd metric. It should be about balance. It should be about well-being. It should be about having fun. And it really resonated with me. So in that keynote, she said to this room of 1,500 people, if you want to join our conversation, email me. And I did. Now, I don't know if anyone else did, but I did. And the following day, I had a email back from Ariana, copied with her senior editors, to join Huffington Post, and they featured my first blog there on the homepage.
Yay!
So You know, and it's just setting that intention that, as you see here from this picture right here, a year later, I met her in person along with Mika, who was a part of their conference. And I've spoke about this many times. It's setting that intention for positive results. The conference was a part of NAPW. So I believe PR is a lot about personal relationships. And NAPW is a National Association of Professional Women. I served as chapter president here in Bakersfield, California. And during that time, Star Jones recognized the growth of our local chapter. We're a small market, but she started to see really great growth. And what it was, we were really networking our network. We were inviting people to be a part of it. So this is an example of when she chose to visit the NAPW chapters, Bakersfield was first on her list. And as you can see, you got to share your own good news. She shared that tweet about running the NAPW, a well-tuned machine. Here's a fun one. So this is telling you a little bit of story about PR being, I think, stands for positive reinforcement. So I was heading to New York, and you can see that happy face balloon. Do you see that little guy right here? Mm-hmm. Well, he had come from an event, and I traveled with it all the way to New York, and I decided I was going to hand this over during the live news of the Today Show. And my friend caught it on camera, and we used that to share with Dignity Health's message. And I use this as an example. You never know when a story is going to present itself, so just go for it. I shared that with Al. He took the balloon. We had that picture, and then on social media, we were able to tell the story of Hello Human Kindness, which for Dignity Health, if you follow along with any of their hospital brands, it's become more of a movement than just a marketing message.
So let me ask you a question. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
You were watching the video?
Let me come back to you so I can see your face. Okay, yes, go ahead.
So you were watching the Today Show and then they filmed you doing this? Is that how it worked?
So what happened was, let me hit hide so I can see you.
Yeah, if you go back to the little green button, just hit stop screen share, you can see me again.
Okay,
there
I want to see you again. I like to see faces. Okay, so what had happened, I was speaking at a conference here in Bakersfield. The swag item was that balloon.
Okay.
And I just loved it. It's sharing a smile, you know? And I love that saying, if you see someone without a smile, you know, give them yours. So I thought, I'm going to take this with me. And I don't know where I'm going to use it, but it's just going to come with me. And I hopped on the plane to New York to attend, at the time, the event with Ariana and Mika for the third metric. And while I was there, a friend wanted to go on the Today Show. It was on her bucket list. She had always wanted to hold up a sign and do the whole fan thing. And I thought, okay, fine, we'll do it. So while we were out there, I brought out the balloon. It was just one of those moments where I thought, I'm just going to share this with Al. And as he walked around, I handed it to him. My friend caught the picture, and we then used that. So that story then served as such a powerful way to connect from Bakersfield to New York and back for Dignity Health, because their message was about sharing a smile.
There's two things here that I love that you did. Number one, you created your own opportunity.
Yeah.
And then
I went for it.
You saw it and you went for it. You took action, but you created your own opportunity and you used it to share. You put yourself out there, and it was a win-win for everyone because you shared, you know, you were in there and the charity that you were talking about was in there, and you tied it together with the smile thing. So that was really well done. And anyone can do that. Anyone
can do that. And just don't ever, just be aware that a news story or an opportunity is always around you. I want to take a moment here. Let's see, Tammy, she's writing a book, The Second Start. We plan to have the transcript completed. Editors, what do you suggest? Start doing now, do it step by step. Great, so we're gonna go into that, Tammy, and then I would love to answer any further questions if you have. The first step of a newbie to get first media PR. I love it, Gigi. All right, so let's get to the nuts and bolts of some of this, okay? Let me go back to sharing with all of you. There we go.
And I can tell you all, while she's finding the slides, that when I got myself on television, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC television, the way that people perceive you after being on the media is it's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different bowl of soup, because now you are really the expert. You get on TV once and that's it. You can.
It is, and it's leveraging that credibility to be that go-to expert. So my next slide here is just show you that I believe PR is about passion. It's about, one of my passions. I'm going to admit it. I love Chalene Johnson and Kim Garst. I followed them for a while. If you follow any social media, Joel Comm and Alex Kahn, who's on these pictures as well, use your influence, because you never know when opportunities can present themselves, and you might network with them in the future. Right, Vanessa? Like we're doing right now.
Absolutely. We met at an event, Janelle and I, and here we are continuing to collaborate together.
Yeah. And so my last slide of pictures here is just to say PR really, no matter what, is storytelling. So you may not be on Entertainment Tonight. Well, maybe not right now. We can work on that together. But your story is newsworthy. And it's just about crafting that story for the right audience with the right message. So let's get right into that. Number one, you're going to prepare. So Gigi, this is for you. You were asking for a newbie. What do you need? Well, keep in mind that there's 1,800 press releases distributed in the US on a daily basis. You want to get yours to cut through the clutter. We have to prepare. You have to have the press release. It's still used. It's still a paper that is circulated, but yes, we can use it electronically. But it goes back to the basics. You have to tell your story. And in doing so, you're going to think about the 5 W's: the who, what, where, when, and why. Now, looking at the slide here, you want to check out the media outlet or publication you're trying to pitch the story to. I tell my clients all the time, you want to be on the morning show? Watch the morning show. Watch the show, listen to the radio program, the podcast, read the publication, get to know their audience so that you can pitch to them properly. And start to take some notes. If it's for TV, are they a network affiliate? Then online, the internet gives you such the opportunity to search and see what their programming is for the week. Look into some of the topical stories that are being told. See if the network within one of the shows is talking about something specific. Maybe it's about bullying and you have a program that you want to present. You could tie that in. Local news is always going to look for that local angle.
And I think that's an important area. It's easier to start with getting into local news, right? Don't go straight for the Today Show. Go local, start practicing there. And I like what you're saying here, do your research, really find out, what the network is about. Are there stations that are already covering things that you talk about?
Exactly. And the best part about that, I work with local, regional, and national accounts. You don't start with the national level, because every media is going to say, what's the local angle? So you want to build from your local story and then branch out. And I'm going to show you an example of how we did that in just a minute. So prepare. You want to be conversational. You want to write in the tone of the language of that audience. If you're pitching to Wall Street Journal or New York Times, your pitch is going to be a different type of pitch than if you were going for Huffington Post or Mashable. And do you know about Help a Reporter Out? If not, save that website, because it can really help you pitch your story. So it's helpareporter.com, known as HARO. Keep in mind that reporters...
You go on there and they have all different kinds of opportunities where they search for, we're looking for somebody to come on our TV show, we're looking for someone to do a blog post, we're looking for all these different opportunities. Every day they can send them out, right? Requests.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's just a great resource. It's free. If you want to do the paid version, you can have stories sent to your inbox daily, but there's really no need to do that. You can go on and just see what they're looking for, and you're helping a reporter out to tell that story.
It's a great resource. I posted it here in the chat box for everyone.
So step number 1 was prepare. Step number 2 is your pitch. So we talked a little bit about this in the first one. You really have to provide the information to the news media of your choice in the format they require, and that is the press release. It's the who, what, where, when, and why. If that seems like something you've heard before or you've never heard before, trust me, in this industry, there's so many times releases will go out with some of that information. Maybe they told you who it was about or where it was, and not the why. You need to include all 5. And be concise yet complete. So I'm quoting PR Web here. They state that releases should be between 400 to 600 words. I completely agree. Mine usually stay right about 400 or less because you're not telling the whole story. You're just sharing just enough to get them to pick up the story. It's good to include a quote from the person directly related to the story. You can use multimedia or good visual opportunities for the press. So for example, you would let them know what would be available to shoot during that. For example, with Vanessa, her soul sister mastermind, she could say, camera opportunities will be available by the beach between 5 and 6 p.m. And you want to localize your story. Again, local is gold. It's thinking about how you're making a difference in your community right now with your effort. And that's how you could get it picked up, not just local, but on a broad scale, even on a national or global level.
Interesting. I totally see that. I'm thinking to myself, like, why didn't I do one of these before the last mastermind? We just had it here in Laguna Beach, and I could see reporters showing up. I mean, who wouldn't want to, right? Shoot that women running around in bikinis, having a fabulous time, up leveling their businesses.
Of course. And it's such a great visual.
And all that. Yeah.
So focus on your headline, include a call to action, and don't forget the boilerplate. So if all this seems like a little too much information, I have this that can be shared with you very easily, but let's get to the 3rd step. Step number 3, we're going to persuade them. So we've prepared, we've found the right outlet, we've pitched it to them, and now we're going to persuade them. You want to be persistent, whether it's funny. People will ask me, do you still use a fax? Yeah, people will still use fax in the newsroom, but email and online is fine as well. A good rule of thumb is to send out the press release 2 weeks before the event. If, for example, you know a date that is coming out in advance. So recently I helped with the public relations for an event we have every year, the Bakersfield Women's Business Conference. We did a press conference to announce the date 6 months ahead of time. So it's more of a save the date type of media press. And then we created a media advisory. So sometimes if your event is coming out in the future, you could create an advisory just to get it on the radar.
Press release 2 weeks out, and then what did you say the other thing was?
The media advisory. So you're advising the media. For example, let's use Soul Sister Mastermind.
Yeah.
You had one coming up in 2 months from now, but you wanted to make sure it just gets on their radar for coverage. You would send out a media advisory advising the media that this event would be taking place on December 1st. Something like that.
Gotcha. Interesting. I never heard of that about that before. So I'm taking notes, everybody.
Yay! Okay. You're going to use your circle of influence to share your press release. So keep in mind, this works so well, especially if you're tied into a charity. Have their board, have their director, have someone in their circle send it out on your behalf. Because a lot of times that's what PR is. I like to say PR is your best friend. It's that best friend who loves to tell your story. So have someone help brag on you and get that to the media as well. But those are the steps.
You do your own press release, and then you connect it with a charity or an association, and you have them also promote it out to the press.
Exactly, because it benefits them. It's a win-win. It's actually a win-win-win because it's good for you and your business, your brand. It's good for the cause, and it's good for the media. It's a good story to tell. So what we see often, the negative stories are out there, but they're looking daily. You set the news agenda on a daily basis.
They are looking for you to tie things in with, the holidays, with a news breaking story, something that's going on. So how would you approach charities? How would you approach people to do this?
So I would keep it very authentic. And let me go to this screen, and then I'm going to come back to you for a minute because we're going to share this as an example.
Right.
Let me come back to you. because that's a really important question. Am I back? I'm back. So it is beautiful when you can connect and collaborate with a charity, but don't choose one that's not true to your mission or your cause, because readers, people, viewers will see through it. You know, if you're not really all about American Heart Association, don't try to partner with them. It will just come across as fake. However, if you have a real passion with a charity and a true connection, that's just a good story to tell, because it's your why. It's why you want to be involved. It's easier for you to communicate, and it comes across authentic. You know, the world is so hungry for authenticity.
That's it. Authenticity, the new currency in business and life. That's exactly
so true. And if you connect with that charity and you're truly helping each other, then it's just going to be such a beautiful story to share. So, for example, I can tell you, a friend of mine, she wrote a book. It was so cute. It was an ebook, Conquer Closet Chaos. And she's a great stylist, and she wanted to just build an audience to that book, but to some of her own styling sessions that she was offering. And I asked her if she had heard about Dress for Success. And she hadn't. I said, well, first of all, we have a local chapter. They're doing great things. They need help. Let's connect the two of you with the director, see if it's a good fit, and go from there. So from that, she was able to do morning news live from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. So 2 hours of morning news.
What?
With this charity. Now, keep in mind, I know sometimes I talk this way and it's not making sense for those out of the industry. 2 hours means she had 1 to 2 minute segments within a 2 hour news program.
Still,
but that, as you know, you cannot buy.
Yeah,
that is public.
That's right.
That is not for sale. It has to be news. And so they were able to help each other with an event coming up for Dress for Success, and she was able to position herself as the stylist and sell her ebook. So it worked out beautifully. Matter of fact, she was booked several times after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So she was on this 2 hour chunk and 1 to 2 little minutes in between those 2 hours, several times.
Right. So live morning news, if you watch, oftentimes they're on location somewhere. And it doesn't matter the size of the market, you know, whether it's LA or Bakersfield, where we are a smaller market, they're looking for those local stories. They want to tell your story. So you really do set the news agenda. People don't realize, having worked in a newsroom, I would watch what they call the run board, and you would see the stories start to come in. You can help set that agenda on a daily basis. You just have to be able to pitch it to them.
And I think that's a brilliant gift that you have to connect people, because this is really kind of like a wordsmithing, copywriting, imagination kind of process, right? To tie you in with something that the media wants to show. That's really where the magic happens. And then, of course, they want to have you on. I was on all of my TV appearances were on morning news shows.
Yeah, morning news is wonderful. I see some comments from Tammy. 6 a.m. news is great exposure. Yeah. Morning, they want to tell the story. And if you think about it from a viewer's perspective, you don't want to hear constantly in the morning as you're getting ready about the car accident or the robbery or whatever the negative story of the day is. So if you have a way to share your story that can influence, they're going to pick it up. So speaking on that, let's go back for the one last slide I want to share with you. And this is a press release. Gigi, are you still on? This is going to highlight you a little bit, my friend. Okay. Let me go back. There we are. Can we see it okay?
Yep.
All right. So this is a local teacher here in Bakersfield, California. She decided that she was going to fight obesity. The short version of her story was she was no longer going to be 75 pounds overweight. She started Just Dancing, and literally with the game Just Dance, she went into arcade, she started playing, she incorporated it into her classroom. Her students have gotten into it. She's been on a mission to fight childhood obesity. So what a beautiful story to tell. Plus, as you can see in this picture, yeah, she's a Guinness World Record holder of several events. So we wanted to tell her story. And you may be thinking, okay, I have not broken a world record. That's okay. the reason I want to share this story, especially if Gigi is still on with us, is by tying in to the 10th anniversary of the Guinness World Records when the book was coming out. That's how I pitched that I wanted to share this press release. So we shared it in our local market and then nationally as well. It got picked up on national levels, more than, I want to say, 200 media online pickups, and it reached globally to other countries.
Wow.
And we got a call from an amazing up and coming artist. If you're not following her yet, her name is Gigi Rowe, and she should be in this chat with us, that she wanted to participate with Gigi and with Carrie and tell her story. So that's what the press release looks like, and you can get a copy of this exact release if you want it for your reference. We then use that to do a news interview, and here at the bottom of the screen you can see her just jamming out with some of the kids and students that we brought in studio.
Oh.
It was an awesome opportunity to tell that story.
So some people are asking questions. Galita's asking, do you need a book to be on TV? That's her first question.
No, not at all. I've been on several times and I don't have a book yet.
Coming out soon, though. Coming out soon.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah. Let me come back to you guys for a minute. Okay. All right. So, no, you don't have to have a book. You just have to have a message.
No.
That's it.
And the real juju here is, the real genius of it all is tying your message, to the right audience, to the right station. And like you said, if you can make it a win-win for everyone, a charity, or make it a win for the station, because it ties into something that people want to hear about, and then you can also tie yourself in your business and get that exposure. That's why I love this, because it's a win-win-win.
And you just never know who's listening. And I would love to use this example because Gigi is in our chat room. So Gigi, if you could comment with us, and just a brief comment on how you saw Carrie's story, I think that would help benefit everyone who's here today. But
I wonder if it's the right Gigi. Gigi, this might be my Gigi Moser. Might be a different Gigi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, though.
We'll have to confirm.
Yeah.
So what happened with Carrie, the teacher, is that when her press release was distributed, and I use PR Web a lot, I highly recommend. They've got a great system down. I pay as a PR agency a certain amount to make sure my releases for my clients rank. But they really do offer a great program. If for $100 you wanted to just get your press release out for national coverage, you can use it. And they have great metrics to show you where it hit and who picked it up. But
PRweb.com is the website.
PRweb.com.
Yep.
Vanessa's Gigi. Okay, well, I'm thrilled to meet Vanessa's Gigi too.
You met her at the first Soul Sister Mastermind.
Okay, awesome.
Yes,
okay, I love this. This is what it's all about. This is about sharing and reconnecting.
So I launched once my own. This is before I got on TV, but I launched my own. I think it was for an ebook. That's actually what I did it for. And I did use PRweb.com. There are different levels. Which level do you recommend people use if they're just starting out?
If you're just starting out, the best way is always to craft that news release, or have someone like a PR consultant like myself look it over to make sure it has all the right points. Pitch it local.
Right.
That's the best way. It's not going to cost you anything. Get your local coverage. If you're looking to then leverage that for national, then PR Web, there is a package, I believe they call it, I'd have to look it back up. It's their middle package for $199, so $200. And it does give you a better SEO rank. It does let you choose some industry-specific areas. And it gives you more leverage out of your national exposure.
So you're telling me that it's free to use to pitch locally?
Oh, local, you just have to know your own media. And
right.
That's is going online, looking at the contact page, contact us. The trend these days, a lot of media stations will just have you pitch to them directly on their social media pages. So you can try Twitter. Twitter is huge. And Facebook Messenger. Sometimes they'll still go by email. And if you get to know them and you can make a phone call, that's always great too.
This is what I was taught, actually, to call them up, call them up right after. I think there's a specific time between like 10 and 11 in the morning once they finish their meetings.
Right, there's a morning routine.
Yeah. Call up the director, or is that the right word? Call up
the assignment editor. You'd ask for the assignment editor.
The assignment editor and say, hey, I've got a great story for you. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And I got myself booked on something like this. And I think it was in Las Vegas. Yeah, by calling up the stations.
People don't realize how approachable media can be. They really want to tell your story. And so if you're able to get that message to them in the right format, follow up with a phone call, make it personal, you're going to get on. You're going to get coverage. Yes, I can help you do that as well. And I would love to be publicity for everyone, but that's why today we're going to share some of the tips so you can be your own PR rock star.
Sweet. Well, I'm ready for it.
All right. So the last part of the screen is just how we can continue to stay connected and work together. So I'll share that with you briefly.
And I love how you shared these tips already to go Google the networks, watch the shows, find them on the networks, find them on Twitter, and approach them. Call them up and or pitch them right on the social media channels. That's why I love social media. It's so accessible. You can access anyone these days.
You really can, and it's amazing the connection you can make. So I'll come back to that story about Carrie and the Gigi that I know as well in just a moment. This is just to give you an idea. If you wanted to continue to connect and collaborate together, I offer a PR Rockstar Mastermind. And so I take on 5 at a time. I found that this is the magic number, just like with you, Vanessa, talking about in 30 days. In 30 days, we really can craft your message, find the power of your brand, and be able to communicate that out. So you will get a pickup, you will get coverage, you will get opportunity. In this one specifically, I do offer the opportunity for a live to video shoot starring you. So what that means is I work with a lot of production companies throughout California, high-end, amazing cameras. They shoot on 4K. You look beautiful, we get the right lighting. And we can create, whether it's a commercial or infomercial, or maybe it's just a message you want to share that's then pitched to the media. I often do that with clients. And this allows one-on-one coaching as well. And then if you just are interested in after this, as we wrap up today, in just having a phone call, I'm offering that to everyone who's on this, even in the replay. Just make sure that you email me, give me your name and phone, your website, your social channels. Tell me your #1 PR goal. And here's where you can find me. Janelle@caprapr.com. In the subject, go ahead and type in PR Rockstar so I can cut through the clutter and find your message. And that will help us continue to work together.
Awesome sauce. So let me just type it in here to the chat box. Your email is Janelle.
Janelle.
Just scroll the screen up just a little bit now. Scroll it up so we can see.
Do you want me to type it in real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me do that. I can participate.
Yeah. So we've got people asking questions like, how do I get on Oprah? My biggest dream is to get on Oprah. How do I get on Oprah? Carlos is saying, excellent webinar. Galit's also asking, I want to reach women entrepreneurs who are service providers, moms, and executives, mostly women. I help people find a job that they love and follow it. What shows should I reach?
Okay. So let's start with that. Service providers, moms, executives. So it's good to know. And let's come back to me. I guess I need to change this one last time, huh? There we go. Mm-hmm. Hi. So it's good to know, and it's great in that description, who your audience is. So often no matter what you're doing in marketing, we feel like, okay, well, I do this, I do this, I do this. Really focus on the one person in your audience. Sometimes that ideal person helps you frame it for numerous people. So as he's mentioning here, is to reach women entrepreneurs, service providers, moms, executives. Put a name to that person. Who is she? So you're trying to reach Janelle, who is 43 years old, mom of 3, works with Alzheimer's organizations, works with several charities. Really think about who that person is in your audience. And then start to look at what media is telling that story. And sometimes it's just tuning in to what we tune out every day.
Right.
You know, in marketing, commercials, they were meant to be a commercial interruption, right? But it's important to sometimes tune in and see what's even running in those commercial breaks within the programming that you want to be on. It can help tell your story. So what I would say in taking those steps is really to focus on the audience, focus on that media outlet that's the right match, and then we just follow those steps to pitch it to them. And that's how you get the results to get on that show. Or get focused on news coverage or whatever it may be.
Yeah, get really clear on who your ideal client is, and then tune into the stuff that we tune out on. I don't watch a lot of TV, so this really is about tuning into the shows. And so I think the first step here, Galit, is to, start tuning into the shows that are telling that story, like Janelle was saying. And I'm really going to encourage everyone to take Janelle up on this amazing offer to connect with her. Send her an email, janelle@caprapr.com. And include your email, your website, if you have one, telephone number, your number one PR goal, and get on the phone with her. She is brilliant at what she does. She's very creative and knows how to put the right people together to get your business out there in a big way. Carlos says, I use with my clients the press newsletter. All newspapers need notes. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? It's not my world.
I'm not sure if you... Let's see, Carlos, are you asking more specifically to providing them that written word, so the quote that they would pick up on? All newspapers need notes. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm following that question either. You could re-ask it for me. I'll help you. Yeah, and that's a good part to bring up. Every media has a different format. So just as we've learned with social media, you're not going to post the same on Facebook that you would on Instagram, that you would on Pinterest. Think of your media the same, whether it's traditional TV news, whether it's, you're trying to get on certain programming. Are you looking for a publication? Are you looking to leverage the story that had happened, but you want to make sure there's coverage for the next one? You can tell that in a different way as well.
Yep, and the whole goal here is once you get on television, I'll be honest, I did not get a ton of clients from being on television. However, my rates went through the roof. I can speak anywhere now. I can put these logos, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC television, and that's it. I'm a rock star. End of story. I don't really have to go on TV again if I don't want to, unless I'm really looking for the volume in people. But just having those, just being on TV sets you so far apart, from everyone else in the industry. And Jennifer is asking if you can show that last screen again, Janelle.
Oh, sure.
Kind of info requested in the email to her.
Yeah, and what you're speaking on right now, Vanessa, is learning to become that go-to expert. Once the station in your market knows that they can reach out to you, say you are the physician that they want to call anytime there's a medical story, they're going to call you. It is about relationships. It is about connecting and staying consistent and staying topical. So we want to make you that go-to expert in your field, no matter what it is. So here's the information. And again, this I offer to all of you, no charge. We will hop on a call, whether you want to FaceTime, Skype with me, or just traditional phone call, and we'll just set some goals on what your number one PR goal is right now.
Awesome sauce. Thank you.
The name, phone, email, your website, so I can look you up, and your social channels. And then you'll send those to Janelle@caprapr.com.
Awesome sauce. This has been so wonderful. I highly recommend that you all take Janelle up on this offer. She is a rock star. She is an absolute rock star when it comes to PR. She helped me launch my Soul Sister Mastermind. And we have your email, sorted out here. And if you just want to hit the stop screen share button, that'll make you pop right back out with your face.
There you go.
There you are. Yeah. So I want to thank you, Janelle. You're a rock star. Thank you for being here and sharing these tips with us today. And I want to thank you, everyone, for joining us in the 10K in 30 Day Live weekly webinar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here's to rocking your PR. You know, being successful, having more sales in business, it's often not even about being great. It's about being visible. It's about being visible. And PR can really, you know, getting on television, getting on the radio, getting your publications out, or being a guest blogger on Huffington Post can get you that visibility. So I highly recommend that you put yourself out there in a big way, even if it's scary. Oh my God, I know sometimes it can be terrifying.
I know. Let me close with one last thing. So if you just want to follow also a program that I keep updated with information, including the slides you saw today, you can go to beaprrockstar.com and you just put in your information there. You'll instantly get the 3 steps, the prepare, pitch, and persuade, and it will show you the news release we use with Carrie. And as we close, I just want to finish that story and go back to it real quick. It's the power of telling your story. So when we shared her press release, we got local coverage. We were able to tell the story. She then had a musician reach out to her from Twitter. She saw the press release. She had a video that's in the Just Dance game, and her song is called Run the Night. So you never know. You can reach a rock star. You know, it's the star in your life. But from that, she also got then a call from GoPro. So there's always other opportunities. And just know that one press release, you may think, oh, you know, who's going to want this story? You would be surprised.
Right. It can
all about sharing that message.
It shoots it out to all of these different locations, and so many different opportunities can come from that. It's definitely worth the $100, $200 to launch it, or hiring, you know, a PR consultant like yourself for more. But, you know, wow. I mean, if I think at, you know, what it cost me to get myself on television, because I did hire somebody to help me, has it paid off? Oh yeah. Over and 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 over again, because, you know, my rates skyrocketed because of the way people perceive me now. Oh my gosh, Vanessa's been on TV. She's the real deal. I want to hire her. You know, people want to buy the best.
Right.
So show up like the best, right? Get, you know, and as soon as people see you on TV, or as soon as they see you affiliated on maybe a Huffington Post or Times or whatever it is, you know, they perceive you like that rock star. And then, you know, you can charge rock star rates. You can get invited to speaking events, different TV shows. So it really is a method for growing your business exponentially.
It is. And it increases your digital footprint, because it can be out there forever. However you choose to share that interview, like you did, can be on your social channels. Last 2 questions, I'll let you wrap this up. Any tips on step 1 to be more clear before you pitch? And does it have to be a charity? So again, that might involve just a little bit of one-on-one time, but the number 1 thing I can say in step 1 in preparing is understanding your message to your audience. So knowing who you're trying to reach, and then you're deciding which media, how to get there. And it doesn't always have to be a charity. No, it can just be a really great product you've created, you know, or a new business launch, or just something. It's telling a story. And last, Carlos went back to say, if you send to the newspapers online and offline, what you do on your work, sometimes they give you a note. Carlos, I'm so sorry. I'm not following along with that comment. I think what you're saying is that they then support you with the comments on your own blog or post or something like that. But if so, reach out to me and we can talk about that. Again, Vanessa, thank you so much. And to everyone tuning in, and just remember, you all can be a PR rock star.
Thanks, Janelle. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And tune in next week on the 10K in 30 Day Live weekly webinar, where we share with you marketing, mindset, manifesting tips to help you grow your business. I love you, and we'll see you guys real soon. Bye, everyone.